Have you ever wondered what would happen if certain life-saving items you rely on were suddenly outlawed? Imagine waking up one day and the tools that could mean the difference between survival and chaos are no longer accessible. It's a terrifying thought, but not an impossible one. The world has become increasingly unpredictable, and regulations on personal preparedness items are tightening every day. Don't be caught off guard. In today's video, we're uncovering 7 critical survival items you need to get your hands on before they disappear for good. Some of these items are already restricted in certain areas, and others are on the brink of being banned entirely. The clock is ticking, and failing to act in time could leave you vulnerable when disaster strikes. From tools that ensure your safety to essential supplies that could save lives, we're breaking down what you need to know to stay ahead of restrictive laws and be ready for the unexpected. This isn't fear-mongering, it's a dose of reality. Your safety and survival depend on what you do today. Stay tuned, because this list could make the difference between being prepared or being powerless when the worst happens. 1. Survival seeds, your lifeline to food security. Imagine this: a world where stores are shut, shelves stripped bare, and fresh food no longer an option. This isn't some distant dystopia, but a possible reality when disaster strikes. The solution? Survival seeds. These little powerhouses are the key to keeping you and your family fed when the system collapses. We're not talking about just any seeds here, oh no. You need open-pollinated varieties, not hybrids. Why? Open-pollinated seeds are the gift that keeps giving. The fruits and vegetables they grow won't just nourish you now, they provide seeds you can harvest and plant year after year. A system of self-reliance, uncoupled from failing supermarkets or government handouts. Think of natural disasters, economic breakdowns, or even food shortages caused by unending conflicts. Without survival seeds, you'll be left scavenging scraps or dependent on canned processed food that weakens your health over time. But with a plot of healthy soil and the knowledge to garden, you'll have direct access to fresh, nutrient-rich produce. It's not only a survival must, it's a health commitment. And don't forget the psychological reprieve. Tending to a garden, watching your food grow under your care, can be a grounding force amidst chaos. Here's the kicker. Governments could move to control and regulate seeds under the pretext of protecting agriculture. Sound far-fetched? It's happened before, and history has a nasty habit of repeating itself. Don't wait until the restrictions clamp down. Secure your seeds now, store them in a cool, dry space, and learn the essentials of gardening. When that moment comes, and it will, you'll thank yourself for being ready. 2. Biomass stoves, cooking and heat when darkness falls. Picture the biting cold of winter creeping into your home. There's no power, no central heating, and you're scrambling for warmth. This isn't a nightmare, it's a stark reality during prolonged power outages or fuel shortages. Enter the biomass stove, a survival hero you didn't know you needed. These stoves don't rely on gas or electricity. Instead, they thrive on raw organic materials like firewood, agricultural residue, or wood pellets, all things easily sourced when conventional energy supplies crumble. But here's where it gets terrifying. Official reports suggest air pollution concerns may lead to these life-saving stoves being banned in various regions. Some areas have already slapped restrictions on their use, and it may only be a matter of time before they vanish off the shelves altogether. Imagine not just being plunged into cold, but also left with no way to cook or sterilize water in an emergency. Biomass stoves go far beyond just giving you the means to boil water or cook a meal. Their heat generation is incredibly efficient, often outperforming traditional fireplaces while burning less fuel and releasing minimal smoke, keeping you safe from health risks while still getting the job done. No electricity? No problem. A biomass stove becomes your alternative heat source in sub-zero temperatures, a lifesaver when frostbite and hypothermia are very real threats. Here's the harsh truth. This isn't a device to delay buying. Get your hands on one while you legally can. Stockpile your firewood or pellets and familiarize yourself with its use to avoid accidents. It's affordable, functional, and effective. A true survival necessity. 3. Emergency blankets. Lightweight shields against the cold. You're trapped in your car on a freezing night, or perhaps stranded outdoors as a storm rages. What happens next could determine whether you live or freeze to death. Emergency blankets, those thin, shiny, doubtlessly underestimated tools, may be your last line of defense. Don't let their simplicity fool you. These reflective layers are crafted to retain up to 90% of your body heat. When temperatures drop too low and your options run out, this can make the difference between staying alive or succumbing to hypothermia. But it doesn't stop there. These blankets are versatile enough for critical situations. Need a makeshift shelter against the wind or rain? Done. Caught miles away from help? Use them as signaling tools to attract emergency responders. Injured and slipping into shock? Wrap the person tightly to retain warmth and stabilize their body temperature. Their low cost and compact size might fool people into thinking they're readily available at all times, but don't be so sure. What if governments, under pressure to restrict access, reserve these lifesavers for first responders or medical use only? That could happen sooner than you think. Do you really want to gamble with your safety on the assumption that you'll always have access to such a crucial tool? Buy them now, stash them in every car, bag, or emergency kit you own. When disaster strikes and temperatures plummet, you'll be glad you're prepared. 4. Pepper spray. Protection when the rules break down. Imagine walking through chaos, a natural disaster, or a violent riot. Law enforcement is stretched too thin to respond, and you're on your own. Now picture someone closing in on you with bad intentions, and you're left defenseless. Too terrifying? That's because it is. This is where pepper spray becomes your ultimate survival ally. Designed to delay and disable attackers, pepper spray is not just a deterrent, it's a lifesaver. A single spray to the face can incapacitate an attacker, even one hopped up on substances or adrenaline. It's non-lethal, portable, and easy to use, and it gives you precious seconds to escape or alert help. But here's the scary part. Not everyone can legally carry it. Governments across the globe are tightening laws, deeming it too dangerous or prone to misuse. Some areas already ban pepper spray outright, and others are looking to severely restrict it. The problem? When danger strikes, whether it's widespread unrest or an isolated attack, you won't have time to ask questions or think twice. It's easy to carry in a pocket or attach to a keychain, making it a fast and accessible defense in life or death moments. Don't think for a second that you'll get by without it. Rules on pepper spray vary by region, and prices could spike before outright bans make it impossible to find. If it's legal in your area, act now. Add it to your emergency kit, know how to use it responsibly, and understand the local laws to avoid unnecessary legal risks. If things go south, and we hope they don't, this tiny tool could change the game entirely. Number 5, cash. Are you ready to face a total breakdown of modern systems? Imagine this. An earthquake leaves your city in ruins, power lines are down, internet is gone, and suddenly your credit card is a useless piece of plastic. Digital payments? Forget it. ATMs? Out of service. Banks? Locked up tight. This is the terrifying world you could face in an instant, and when it does, cold hard cash might be the only lifeline between you and sheer desperation. Cash is more than just money. It's survival. It's food when grocery stores go cash only. It's water when your local supplier refuses anything else. It's medicine when your family is counting on you. When all else fails, cash can still get you the essentials to keep going. But hold on, it's not just natural disasters that can annihilate electronic systems. Imagine global economic instability, banks closing their doors, systems hacked, long lines at ATMs, and then nothing. The government freezes digital accounts, systems crash under pressure, and you're left empty-handed. How will you survive? Even during smaller crises, cash has your back. Traveling in a remote area with no cell signal? Or worse, your banking app is compromised by a cyber attack? Cash becomes your only way to pay. It's the ultimate fallback when the modern world crumbles around you. Your move? Build a stash now. Keep small and medium denominations, hidden securely but accessible in a pinch. Don't talk about it. Telling others makes you a target for thieves. Be smart, be prepared. Cash isn't just money, it's protection, security, and the ultimate escape plan. Wait too long and it might be too late. Number 6, portable solar chargers and generators. Picture this. A massive storm rages through your state, ripping down power lines and plunging entire cities into darkness. Now imagine that blackout stretching not for hours, but for days, even weeks. No lights, no way to charge your phone, completely cut off from news, your loved ones, even emergency rescue. Sound terrifying? It should. Power failure is often the first domino in a full-scale disaster. Thankfully, there's one thing that can keep you from being swallowed by the darkness. Portable solar chargers and generators are not just handy, they can literally save your life. These are not just gadgets, but critical survival tools. Imagine being able to charge your phone to call for help, keep a flashlight running, or power an emergency radio. Think of solar generators that can even keep small appliances, like fridges, operational, saving your family's food and medicine. And here's where it gets chilling. When the gas runs out or diesel is nowhere to be found, solar panels will never fail you. The sun is all you need. No dependence on traditional fuels means you have a sustainable energy source that works through any crisis. This kind of independence could literally mean the difference between life and death. But don't underestimate the urgency to act. Laws are already changing. States like California are banning gasoline generators by 2028. What's next? Solar-powered ones? Prices are sure to skyrocket when demand overtakes supply. Times of crisis don't wait for you to sit on the fence. Do you really want to imagine yourself powerless in every sense of the word at the worst possible moment? Stockpile now while you still can. Number 7, ham radio. Picture this. Every form of communication you rely on goes silent. Phones stop working, your Wi-Fi router is dead, social media is a barren wasteland, you are utterly isolated. Your lifelines to the outside world have been cut. People panic, chaos spreads, and you have no idea what's happening or where to go. But what if there were still one way, one simple, low-tech, but incredibly powerful way to stay connected? That's ham radio, and it's a survival tool you can't afford to ignore. Unlike your precious smartphone or computer, ham radios don't need traditional infrastructure. They operate independently from cell towers or internet connections. When everything else has failed, a ham radio lets you tune in to life-saving information, coordinate rescue missions, or call for help across enormous distances. You could connect with emergency broadcasts, or even reach someone hundreds of miles away to get an update on the crisis. Still think ham radios are outdated? Think again. Communities devastated by natural disasters like hurricanes and blackouts have used ham radios to rebuild communication networks when nothing else worked. They're reliable in a way our fragile modern systems simply aren't. The frightening part? Governments might not want you to have them. Speculation is already brewing. Tighter licenses, more regulation, and yes, even potential bans in certain areas. Why? Because they're independent. They don't fall under control of tech companies or governments. Ham radios are freedom in the face of chaos. And freedom, my friends, might soon become a luxury. Act now. Get your ham radio before it's wrapped in red tape. Study for your license, learn how to use it, and join local networks. The window to prepare is closing. When disaster hits and those cell towers fall silent, you'll thank yourself that you listened and acted while you still had the chance. Final thoughts. Preparation isn't paranoia, it's prudence. The world is unpredictable and the systems we depend on are far more fragile than we like to believe. These 7 survival items, cash, portable solar chargers, and ham radios among them, aren't just conveniences, they're lifelines when chaos reigns. Don't wait for disaster to strike or for regulations to make them inaccessible. Act now, build your stockpile, and ensure you and your loved ones have the tools needed to face any crisis. Tomorrow might be too late. Stay ready, stay resilient, and stay safe.